warrior. I really want to address a couple of things, and I want to address kind of difficult to talk about, but I think we have to talk about it. After all, I am a warrior. We have a couple of sexual abuse, rape cases pending right now, innuendo, people accused. So let's start with Danny Masterson. A couple of weeks ago, he was convicted of rape of 2 women 20 years ago, and a case with a 3rd woman was dismissed. So there's that. So my question is, I am in no way promoting, I am in no way defending, but my question is, and I'm not a lawyer, why some people and not others? Rape, sexual abuse is disgusting, is horrible, is against the law, is against humanity. It's despicable. But I have to question, why is Harvey Weinstein in prison? After all, I could name probably 50 different people that should be in prison if I think about it. You have to remember, I started back in the music business and also with Broadway producing and Hollywood. So why some? Okay, we have that. Fast forward. Just the last couple of days, well, it broke over the weekend, Russell Brand. Now, Russell Brand, comedian, self-admitted, sex addict, always saying things. If you go back and look at any of his interviews, any of his appearances on different shows, always saying what would be considered outrageous things, always not trying to hide anything. The darling of the left, and everybody loved Rusty Rockets until, I guess, if you're following along, I haven't been following that closely because I've been busy really trying to educate parents and caregivers and children about exploitation. So I haven't really been following too closely Rusty Rocket's career, although I know he has been very popular. But he started talking about everything from vaccines to trans to this I do know, and being very verbal about it. So now there's a full onslaught against Russell Brand. Again, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, The problem I have with Russell Brand is that the girl, 16, age of consent in the UK is 16. Again, I'm promoting nothing. I'm going to keep saying that because this is all horrible. This is something I don't even want to talk about, but I feel it necessary working in this business and trying to educate everybody. The girl's mother knew about what was going on with Russell Brand. The girl's mother, in essence, was kind of promoting it. You know, this goes along with why parent up. I've seen it over and over again in the last few decades where a parent will do anything, sell their child, anything to be close to show business, celebrities. So I kind of am blaming the mother right here, I guess, something I used to not do, not judge, but now I am. This man was in his 30s with a 16-year-old girl. I don't care it was the age of consent. Just think about it. But anyway, so we have that going on. Something that kept me up, though, all of last night was the breaking case of Tim Ballard. Now, Tim Ballard was the founder of Operation Underground Railroad. Tim Ballard was also the inspiration for the recent film Sound of Freedom about child sex trafficking. A hit in the United States, a hit globally. Of course, you wouldn't know it because the media would not cover it, except to call it, I don't know, conspiracy, nonsense, anything to discredit this movie. Whether you like the movie, don't like the movie, I am here to say that this movie that opened on July 4th here in New York City opened up a lot of eyes. I had a lot of people reach out to me. I'm doing a few events based off of Sound of Freedom. Because although I've been talking and pitching people and saying, let me come for free, let me talk about it, let me educate you, they're still standoffish. But then they saw Sound of Freedom. They heard about Sound of Freedom. Now, Lynn, will you come? You were right. You were right. Now will you come and talk about it? So, of course, I will. But Tim Ballard has been accused of, I guess, misusing his position when he was actively involved of running Operation Underground Railroad, where he would go to foreign countries and he would rescue children involved in sex trafficking. When I first met Operation Underground Railroad, my question was, I am interested in protecting, securing, saving, I don't like the word save, but we'll use it here, saving children in America, right here in our own backyards. I, of course, would like to save everybody in the entire world, but I want to start right here. The need is in America, where I live. I'm an American. And I am, though, confounded about all of these women now coming forward for against Tim Ballard. And it's just unfolding. And, headlines that read, Sound of Freedom, sex scandal. That he, according to these women, touching them inappropriately, bringing them on missions with him, asking them to act as his wife, do certain things. But I want to leave all that. I want to tell you all this because I don't want the movie Sound of Freedom discredited in any way, shape, or form. I am here to tell you that film, which, by the way, is 6 years old already. It was shelved for 5 years when Disney bought the rights, and Disney just didn't put the movie out in the movie theaters. And then, of course, we had COVID. Theaters were shut down. The movie made it out this year with a lot of financing by our good friends at Goya Foods and others. They did crowdsourcing, which is common in films today. But I'm here to tell you that that film single-handedly got people talking, got the discussion going, something I work hard on trying to do every single day. It is a horrible subject. It is an awful subject. And although that film portrayed children in Colombia, Mexico, other countries, it still got the discussion going. People want to know more. People want to know what they can do. I want everybody to remember that. No matter what happens with Tim Ballard, no matter what headlines you read, what you hear, please try to separate it. Please try to understand that in America, we have a national crisis. It's called child sex trafficking, online and in real time. We have a global crisis. But in America, it is escalating as I sit here and talk to you about all of this. Nobody's coming to save these children. I don't like to say that. We can, though. We can intervene. We can educate and raise awareness. We can protect. We don't want our children or grandchildren to become new victims. While we do all of that, and we must, I keep saying it is the fork in the road 2023. You're either with us or against us. We have a government who just doesn't care. This is a bipartisan issue. It affects all of us. It will trickle down into your community, into your home. I promise you this. So we all have to come on board. We all have to follow lynswarriors.org. Be on top of it. Share my tweets, share Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. Talk to your children, your grandchildren. Separate. I want you to listen very closely. Separate out the good messaging from Sound of Freedom that finally somebody was able to break through and really give more of a realistic look. And the movie, in my opinion, was handled very well, was not salacious, because I wondered how would they handle child sex trafficking? Because that's that slippery slope of you don't want to be salacious, which most people are, so they can get traffic and clicks and likes and all of that. They handled it very well. We have to keep up the work. We have to increase the work. We have to educate others. I'm scared because this is not stopping. There's a full-on push in New York to decriminalize the sex trade, and that means supply and demand. No accountability, more people will be trafficked to fill the demand, and that means more children, because children, that is what the demand is for. We need to start talking about that. And the internet, big tech, we have bipartisan bills sitting, waiting for that final vote on the floor of our 118th Congress. We can't get them over the finish line. They're there, and we're pushing. That's where you can help. House.gov, Senate.gov. Find out who represents you if you don't know. Contact their offices and say enough. Enough of child predation, child sex trafficking, whatever it is. You can always go to lynswarriors.org. Go to my tab, resources, take actions. Just copy down anything I write. I want to leave you with this, though. As I sit here in New York, the United Nations is having their 78th General Assembly, and that is where all nations pour in every September to New York City and talk and celebrate and come together in the name of human rights abuses across the globe. Now, last year, I was asked to attend, say a couple of words at something, and I did. And this year I said, no way. I was asked again. I do not support the United Nations. It is a globalist, money-making entity. Sounds good. People get excited if they say, oh, you spoke at the UN, you went to the UN. It's all glossy, but you know what? They don't get the work done. My time is more valuable talking to you right here, educating you, sharing resources, take actions. My time is better spent working with the warriors and getting the wheels in motion to prevent the predators from winning, and they are winning. If you're in the New York City area, please join us on October 18th at the 3 West Club, right in Rockefeller Center. I'm going to be with Jason Jones, Newsmax border correspondent and retired Texas Border Patrol, among other things, who has worked with human trafficking, cartels, government, all kinds of things. We're going to be in discussion. We're going to give you the realities. So come join us. We're going to have a dinner. It's all bad. I don't want to just keep talking about how bad everything is, which is what the UN does. And we need to come together and we need to make change. We know all this. Now it is time to take action. Remember, each and every day, community creates change. I truly believe from the bottom up. So in your home, in the community, in your schools, at your places of worship, that's where the real change takes place, ground up. And while you work on that, I'll work on that also, but I'll also work in Washington and continue my work, as well as in Albany, my home state of New York, the capital, to not let the full decriminalization of the sex trade take place. But you see, I need all of you because voices count, numbers count, community counts. Community creates change. Remember each and every day, be a warrior.